Don't miss Memphis Wrestling live this weekend, and it all starts August 6th and 7th. Join Dustin Starr, King Cobra, and Memphis Wrestling along with B&B Collection for the only Comic-Con in Northeast Arkansas at the Paragould Community Center. Get your weekend pass in advance. August 21st is our next live TV taping, and you will not want to miss it. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com.
American Hostile Championship Wrestling in Crothersville, Missouri. Reynolds Park for the Barbecue Fest, August the 5th. Tomorrow. Rumble on the River 3. $2 gets you in at the Barbecue Fest and American Hostile Championship Wrestling. Appearing that night, Mid-America Champion Astonishing Austin, Rude, Addison Kane, Zay Washington, Denzel Rollins, Terry Wayne, Mark Southern Jr. The American Hostile Championship Wrestling Tag Team titles on the line as the LA Hustlers go against the Moonshiners in the big main event of the night. American Hostile Championship Wrestling title is on the line. Jack Parker Jr. against Aaron Roberts with Justin Case. Card subject to change. Follow American Hostile Championship Wrestling on Facebook by searching American Hostile Championship Wrestling. Hey, just a quick reminder, subscribe for $5, $7, or $10 at www.patreon.com/Shooting the Shiznit without a G. That's right, Shooting the Shiznit without a G. This episode is also brought to you by SpunkLube.com. Remember, when you're getting funky like a monkey, if you know what I mean, use Spunky. That's right. Go to www.SpunkLube.com and tell them STS Pod sent you. We can all help prevent suicide. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline provides 24/7 free and confidential support for people in distress, and also prevention and crisis resources for you and your loved ones. Call 1-800-273-8255.
What happens when someone sends you a box of cassettes from the 1990s? You put them on as a podcast. Sit back and take a trip to the past for Cassette Wrestling News. Stone Cold Steve Austin called this the first ever podcast. These cassettes were mailed every issue to subscribers during the heyday of wrestling fanzines. Jeff Osborne and John Cena sit down and put out an episode of zany, fun, and sometimes serious stuff. Get ready to dive 30 plus years into the past.
Minutes here before this episode, just to let you know, me and Jeff had a little bit of a technical issue at the very beginning here. You'll see it lines up and you're able to hear Jeff a lot better, but at the front it's kind of screwed up. I just want to thank everyone for their good comments about Cassette Wrestling News. This is like a personal project for myself, and I told the wife it's almost like I'm the only one listening and about 10 other people. Although the main feed gets a huge amount of listens. It's really weird. I don't get a lot of comments about this, and as always, guys, you got to look out for the quality is not what you're used to. And so I'm not sure if that's the reason why. This is a really fun episode, and there's some funny stuff at the end. Also, just want to let everyone know that I'm sorry we didn't get 2 episodes out last month. Only 1 episode last month, 1 episode this month on the Patreon feed, mainly due to just not being able to get a chance to talk with Jeff. I want a little bit of information about the episode. at the front of the episode every time with Jeff. I really want to do that. So, hey, I'll shut up. Thank you, Patreon members. We do appreciate it. You're getting this episode now. And guys, if you're on the $1 tier, $3 tier, man, I challenge you. Jump up to the $5 tier. We have this goal for this year. I'm not going to force you to jump up to that tier, but we'd appreciate it. Remember, if you do the $5 tier, and if it's been there for 12 months at the $5 tier, I'll reach out to you and you'll get a free T-shirt. That's right, a free T-shirt. Thank you, guys. Enjoy. All right, we're here for episode 6 of Cassette Wrestling News. I think this is May the 30th, 1990, the best I can figure out. First, you're actually interviewing Jonnie Stewart. What do you remember about Jonnie?
I remember that guy being a hell of a guy. He pulled up and I said, "Hey, I'm Jeff with Cassette Wrestling News. I do." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I've heard of it." And then he goes, "You want to go grab a bite to eat real quick?" Yeah, sure. And you got to think back around this time, those guys couldn't have been making more than 30 or 35 bucks in Evansville. So I felt kind of bad. He actually picked up the tab.
Wow. I really liked the conversation with him because he was from the Memphis area, football player. He actually tagged with the Beach Boy guy, with a guy that's been on our show before. So it's kind of interesting. He's interested to seeing it. So shout out to him. You also you talked to Billy Travis a little bit. Billy was somebody you talked to on a regular basis?
Yeah. He really good dude. Whenever I turned the recorder off, but as soon as I turned on, he was Billy Joe Travis. You know, he never broke kayfabe on the air, so to speak, but just a good dude. Always took time for me, even though he didn't have to.
Yeah, he was always nice. Like him and Jeff were real nice to me. We were on tour with they were on tour wrestling Pat Tanaka and Paul Diamond, and we were like giving them stars every night and like 5-star matches, and Billy was really excited about it. I remember Billy being in a match one night with, God, I can't remember who it was in Jonesboro, but they were ribbing him bad. They were slapping him on the back when they would send him into the ropes. And he was mad as hell backstage. Oh, he had a big red mark on his back, and he was mad as hell. Then here's one of the infamous, let me say, things about Cassette Wrestling News that all of us loved. It's Kerry Von Erich telling us where he's at. Yeah,
if he knew where he was at, I guess.
Do you think we talked about this before? Would you think he was a little under the weather per se, or was he just confused? Because I mean, here's a guy on the road all the time.
What was weird, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I used to talk to a chick who told me the woman he was traveling with, her dad owned 8 drugstores in Dallas. And I always thought that was weird. I can't confirm that, but the girl who told me that was pretty reliable.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, he was just starting to come to Memphis on a regular basis. I guess they took the tour bus back then. And, you hit a different town and different spot shows. And I could see where, I want to say this was the first time he was in Evansville. So could have been an honest mistake. Could have been whatever.
Yeah. Well, Kevin was, I got that picture that I took of Kevin where Kevin said, I've got pink eye. So, yeah, he wrestled Dutch that night. And Dutch said, yeah, he had pink eye. Wink, wink. So that Kevin and Kerry were, yeah. At the end of this episode, I keep saying tape because it was a tape. So if this is the first time you listen to Cassette Wrestling News, what happened was Jeff sent me a bunch of tapes, about 40. I'm putting them through a cassette, through the computer, and having to sit and listen to everything as I put it on. It's not perfect quality. If you're listening, after you start listening to the Cassette Wrestling News, it's not perfect, but almost everyone comes back saying how much they're enjoying it. But this sound like you was, and you may have done this on a regular basis, it was almost like a letter. You was you was talking to Jersey Devil about all kinds of stuff. Did you do that? Send people letters on cassette?
Yeah. Oh, who knows? I may have recorded that at the end of something and meant to send it to him, but probably sent it to a couple hundred people. I don't know.
Yeah, it was. You talked to him about baseball cards. And Jersey Devil, we're going to have him on and talk to him. But at the time, he was a record executive, right? Is that right?
Yeah. He actually told me, he's like, yeah, this next Queensryche album is going to send them over the edge and they'll be mainstream. And I'm like, these guys are never going to be mainstream. They're too weird and heavy. And sure enough, man, that he was exactly right. Queensryche went mainstream and had a top 40 hit. It's crazy.
And he had sent me I wished I had it now. It was a Queensryche exclusive disc. It was picture disc and all kinds of stuff. And he would send me cassettes all the time. One of the nicest guys ever. Picked me up when I wrestled in Philadelphia that time on the Tom Robinson Benefit Show. But he actually picked me up from the airport and took me. You were talking about a job you lost because you said the guy was a crook and you went to work and there wasn't anybody there at work. There was a sign on the door or something. It's hilarious to listen to it.
Yeah, I was doing computer back then, man. No one knew what spreadsheets were. No one knew what databases were. No one knew what word processing. It was still really new. But thanks to my grandpa, I went to my grandpa's all the time in Kentucky because he had a satellite. I could watch all the wrestling you could ever imagine. And he was way ahead of his time. I mean, I remember as a small kid, my grandpa saying, someday robots are going to vacuum your house. And my grandma would always go, he's so full of shit. But, everything this guy told me came true. So anyway, he got me into computers. I learned all that stuff and I was working for this company. And then I showed up and they had just basically stolen everything and screwed everybody over. And he took off, kept the money. But I guess I was telling Joe about that, but
you was some things that you say as a young guy. You said, I just really want to work for myself and all this stuff. When you hear it, that was the young you saying that, but you did go through life pretty much making your own job, right?
Yeah, I haven't worked for anyone since 98. So I don't count UFC and Bodog is working for someone. That was a freaking party. I'm telling you, MMA from 2006 to 2009, man, it was insane. Just stupid money I asked for a pay cut in Bodog. I asked for a freaking pay cut, man. It was weird, the money that those guys were just throwing down. But yeah, I've been fortunate enough to kind of not work for anybody for the last, 20 years, something like that.
That's awesome.
20 plus years.
All right, guys, sit back and listen to episode 6. Thank you again, Patreon.
All right, it's May 30th. I'm on my way to Evansville once again at the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Coliseum to get an interview with Chris Champion, Billy Travis, Jerry Lawler, any of the USWA stars. Really want to see what's going on here. Interesting to check out the shoot job here. All right, Jeff Osborne here at the Evansville Coliseum with a pretty good AWA star, a man by the name of Jonnie Stewart. Johnny, how you doing?
Pretty good, Jeff. How are you?
Pretty good. Now, I understand you recently had an NWA television tryout. How'd that go?
Well, the NWA called me Wednesday, I believe it was May 9th, and to put me on for about 5 days, give me a tryout, and I filled in for Shane Douglas. And it didn't go too bad. The competition there, those guys are on the road constantly, and I had about a 2-week lapse before I went with them, so I was kind of rusty. But from what I heard of the reports, I did pretty good. I fared okay, and I'm still here to talk about it, so can't complain.
Any chances of a contract there?
Well, it's all up in the air. I mean, there's going through so many changes with the new booker and some of the new staff, so we're just holding back. My camp and my agents have had a few talks with their side, and so hopefully something will progress out of it, maybe late in the summer.
I was watching your match a while ago, and we talked about this earlier, that you definitely do remind me of a young Curt Hennig. Did you admire him while you were growing up?
Well, Curt and I've been compared to Curt, and even I have some kind of, they said I even sometimes resemble Ric Flair and a lot of stuff. And I think that just goes, first of all, that's a compliment to both of those men, because anytime your style is mimicked or copyrighted or, in a terms, your style is used by another wrestler. And that's just a compliment to you. And I can't give Ric Flair or Curt any more of a compliment than to, try and use their style in the ring. In my eyes, you always mimic the most successful people if you're whatever business you go into. And if you want to mimic or copyright or try and do a style that's successful in wrestling, you couldn't pick two other better people than Curt Hennig and Ric Flair.
Who are some of the wrestlers that you sort of admired when you were younger?
Well, I think probably the biggest guy, the most I probably admired was Hulk Hogan. Just for the simple point, whenever I was young and I went to the wrestling matches, I didn't really get into the aspect of cheering for the guys per se as to win or lose. I was more analytical about it. I looked at each guy and saw how the crowd reacted. And I remember the first time I saw Hulk Hogan come out, and I couldn't even hear myself think, and it was just crazy. And I said to myself, this is something I want to do. I mean, if I don't do this in my life, I got to be crazy, because I've never seen somebody get so much attention and cause so much pandemonium in one place. So I definitely say Hulk Hogan. And then later on, as I got into wrestling, I tried to, try and go into somewhere of a Ric Flair character.
You had any amateur background in wrestling?
No, I just played football all through high school, and I played football at Memphis State University. And that's something that a lot of the wrestling magazine writers and a lot of the Chicago papers and Los Angeles papers are a lot of them are going to be doing stories about, because I've been offered to go back to college to play football, and we've been in talks with the New York Jets for me to get a tryout at one of their camps. So here you have a professional wrestler who played college football, went into wrestling, and I think it's the first time ever that he has gone back into college football and maybe possibly, hopefully, my fingers crossed, hopefully get signed with a professional football team. And I think that's the first that's ever happened. And I've heard through the grapevine that a lot of your Dave Meltzers who write the wrestling magazines and Bill Apter's staff and the Chicago Tribune are going to be doing a story on professional wrestler going back to college and trying to get into professional football. I just think I left college football too soon, and I didn't fulfill my other dream, which was to play pro football and fill out college football. And I was so excited about getting into professional wrestling that I kind of pushed that dream aside. There's an old saying that you change your passion, your desire for your passion, and that's what I did, and I'm regretting it. And so I'm going to try and go back and get one more college football year out and hopefully get a tryout with the New York Jets and maybe do something from there.
Do you prefer football over wrestling?
Well, this is not anything a cut down to professional wrestling, because this happens in everything. Is that wrestling? There's a lot of politics, and I'm not like that. I don't get into that. And even when I played college and high school football and in my acting career also, you take me for my talent, and if I had an old saying to my coaches: you play me for my talent, or you bench me for my talent. Don't play me or bench me because you don't like me or you don't like my personality or my character. And I think professional football can strays away a little bit more from the politics than wrestling does. And I'm not condemning wrestling at all. It's been probably the greatest thing that's ever happened in my life. But I wanna go into other areas and other professional sports, not only to make a history in professional wrestling by going back into football, but also to fulfill my dreams. And I think getting out of football kind of cut one of my dreams short. And since I've already done the wrestling and I've got a foothold in it, I kind of want to go into football right now.
And speaking of politics and pro wrestling, what is one thing that really bothers you about the wrestling business?
I think the biggest thing that bothers me about the wrestling business is and I don't put this on the promoter's faults. I don't put this on anybody's faults. I think this is just life. The injustice or the frustration that somebody can go through in professional wrestling. Seeing other guys get booked or getting, 1-year contracts, 2-year contracts for big money, who you have better talent than, and that you're a better athlete and you have more appeal to the public. Seeing guys who are less than you in ability get contracts and get big money or more money than you're making. I think that's the most frustrating part. And that's not, like I said before, condemning wrestling at all. That's just the way I am, because I'm a competitor and I want to be the best. And when I see somebody who I don't think, in my opinion, is as good as me make it or do better than me, then I get a little jealous and I get a little frustrated. And I think that's just part of any business or any professional sport. And there's one other thing. I don't like the guys referring to professional wrestling as a business. This is as a sport. This is just as much as a sport as professional football or basketball. The money's the same. The knocks are the same. The traveling's just as hard, if not harder. And I'll tell you, wrestling's a lot harder than football. That's one other thing I'm going back into football for.
All right, now, have you had any, if you did get a substantial offer from the WWF, would you take it over a football career?
I think, in my honest opinion, because I am so young, I'm 23 years old, I've got a long way to go in professional wrestling. I could drop out for 5 years, come back and still be 29, and some guys don't even peak until they're 35. So I would have to say that no, I would reject any offer if I signed with a professional football team. I would reject any professional wrestling offer unless it was something exorbitant, which probably won't happen. So yeah, I would definitely say that. Well, not definitely, never say never, but I would most likely turn down any offer if I got a professional football contract. Yes.
All right. If you have any final comments for the listeners of Cassette Wrestling News or anyone else out there?
Well, I just want to say that I appreciate all the publicity I've been getting since I've been with the AWA. The wrestling writers and yourself and guys like yourself have been so kind to me. And when you're in the wrestling business for 4 years and people are writing about your matches that you're second best only on the card to a Ric Flair. Ric Flair's matches is the first and then you're second. I mean, when you hear people writing stuff about you like that, it just makes you want to succeed even more and even making me even more proud of you. And all the listeners, all the fans have been great to me, whether I've been bending the rules or not, and I appreciate that.
I want to thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much too. I appreciate it.
I think you can do me a couple favors.
Sure.
And say, like this is Johnny. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much too. I appreciate it.
I think you can do me a couple favors.
Sure.
And say, like this is Johnny. Listening to Cassette Wrestling.
Okay, no problem. When do you want me to do it? No. This is the illustrious Johnny Stewart, and you're listening to Cassette Wrestling News.
Okay, now there's a guy up in Babylon, New York, does a radio show. Would you want to do one like for him?
Sure.
It's called, you can say like this is the illustrious Johnny Stewart, and you're listening to John Anthony's Pro Wrestling Spotlight.
Okay. This is the AWA's illustrious Johnny Stewart, and you are listening to John Anthony's Pro Wrestling Spotlight.
I'll send that out.
Okay.
Well, the bank charged me $10 service charge, which that kind of pissed me off, I guess, but $62, and it cost me something like $250 just to mail a tape over there. And the tape cost and the handling and the copying the tape, I'll be losing money off that, but at least we're getting heard of over in Australia. I think it's really neat, and hopefully he'll send us back something, because I consider you a major part of the show. I mean, without the devil, the show's incomplete, But let me let you in on a little thing here. You
Listening to John Anthony's Pro Wrestling Spotlight.
Hi, this is Billy Travis. I'm listening. Let's try it over.
Go ahead. Say it.
Hi, I'm Billy Travis. Hi, I'm Billy Travis, and I'm listening to John Anthony's Pro Wrestling Spotlight.
Are you enjoying the episode? Well, Cash App us. That's right, $BTSTS. You don't have Cash App? Download it and get $5. That's right, $5. That's $BTSTS, $BTSTS. Use our Uber Eats code EATS-BRIAN-T24790UE. That's EATS-BRIAN-T24790UE. Use that code and get $20 off a $25 order.
Mysterious Productions. Let's get spun.
Ooh. This episode is brought to you by Spunk Lube. Spunk Lube is the perfect blend of water and silicone. It is an all-purpose personal lubricant that can be used for any occasion. You will love the natural feeling and look of it. It is safe for sensitive skin. Go to spunklube.com and tell them Shootin' the Shiznit sent you.
It's Saturday night, and it's going down. Me and her being at it for a couple of rounds. When things got dry, man,
Hey guys, I'm going to take a moment right here to talk to you about manscaped.com. Let's get some little cute music playing. Oh, there we go. Hey, you got bush? You definitely do if you haven't tried the best products from our sponsor today. Manscaped is sponsoring us all month. Make sure you use an STS Pod 20, STS Pod 20 for that discount code. Guys, take control of your bush is important. These products are so good, you're going to be showing pride in your new bush-free yard. It's a fact that you will have the best kept, nutsack that there is. Save big and be the most hygienic version of yourself by using our discount code. Remember, STS Pod 20. Hey, whether you're looking to go bald like Stone Cold's head, or you just want a safe trim, Manscaped is dedicated to helping you level up your full body grooming game. The grooming package I highly recommend is the Performance Package 4.0. Inside the package is the Lawnmower 4.0. This electric trimmer is a bush's worst nightmare. This trimmer is designed to reduce grooming accidents and shave hair on loose skin thanks to the ceramic blade and advanced skin-safe technology. No need for night vision goggles. This trimmer has a LED light to allow you to mow the lawn in the dark. It's basic landscaping. When you trim the hedges, the trees stand taller. Get it? Second best tool in the performance package is the Weed Whacker. This fine-tuned nose, ear, hair trimmer will make sure your nasty nose pubes are under control. Instantly add some pep in your step with the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and the Crop Reviver Spray-On Testy Toner. With a performance package purchase, you get 2 free gifts. That's right, 2 free gifts. The Shed Travel Bag and the patent high performance reduced chafing Manscaped Boxers. They have a bunch of other products on their website to help you maximize your confidence and your grooming game. Hey, remember, get 20% off and free shipping with the code STSPOD20. That's right, STSPOD20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. And use the code STSPOD20. It's time you leveled up with the ultimate bushwhacking tools from Manscaped. All right, hey, you can quit the music now. Back to the show.
What is Cassette Wrestling News' Jeff Osborne doing now? Please visit Secret Headquarters in Evansville, Indiana, 4225 North 1st Ave, Evansville, Indiana, or call Jeff at 812-470-8546. From vintage toys, video games, and comics to a full retro 80s video arcade. They also have the Vinyl Destination, new and used vinyl records. Drop on in and get something to spin. Follow them on Facebook at The Secret Headquarters.
It's going to be on the radio in Babylon, New York. Okay. Where'd Chris go?
Out there. Hey, baby, this is Steve Dahl. I listen to the Cassette Wrestling News.
Okay, now let's see, this is Steve Dahl, and you're listening to John Anthony's Pro Wrestling Spotlight.
Okay. This is Steve Dahl, and you're listening to John Anthony's Pro Wrestling Spotlight.
Hi, this is Kerry Von Erich, Modern Day Warrior, listening to Cassette Wrestling News right here in Louisville, Kentucky. Where the hell am I?
Evansville, Indiana.
you do me another favor
Yeah.
real quick?
Forget what cities I'm in.
You know John Anthony or John Arezzi?
Huh?
He does a wrestling or pro wrestling spotlight.
Yeah.
And
Hello,
you
buddy.
say you're listening to Kerry Von Erich, you're listening to John Anthony's pro wrestling spotlight.
Okay. Hi, this is Kerry Von Erich, and you're listening to John Anthony's Pro Wrestling Spotlight.
Now you done picked it real quick. Sorry about that. Thanks a lot. One more. Thanks. Thanks a lot, Kerry. There's really no point in having the contest if one person's gonna participate, but get that contest in. So I can play that on this issue number 33, which I don't know if I'll have an interview or not. Lost my job a while ago. It's not the first time, but you know, if you're gonna start a company, man, you gotta participate in this. My boss wants to put us all out there just to make him some money and let the thing go bankrupt. You know, I don't like bosses, for one thing, and because I don't like making money for somebody else when I could be making it for myself. Now I don't consider this a job. I mean, I do, but I'm not making money off of it. But you know, it's I don't know, but I was making him money, and I was only making $5 an hour plus commission, while he was making, I'd say $80 an hour off of us profit. So he lets the place go bankrupt because he's out getting drunk all the time, spending his money on drugs and stuff. But you know, and if I don't, today I got a call. Okay, let me see how much tape I got here. I can't tell, but today I got a call from a collection agency asking for Anthony, which is my boss, and I go, Anthony Skinner? They go, yes. I go, well, this is one of his employees. And they go, well, could I speak to Anthony Skinner? I go, this is my home, this is no business. Can I ask what this is pertaining to? And they said it's a legal matter. They gave me the name and number, and I called back, and they said it was a collection agency and everything. So, and I went to work today, and there's a note on the door that said the electricity had been disconnected, the phone been disconnected and everything. So evidently the money he was pocketing just went for drugs and alcohol. So that's one reason I stay away from that crap. But you know, I lost my job because of it, and I gotta find something quick, or I don't mean to burden you with my problems, but you know, I don't know. I think my girlfriend's going to be commenting on the next tape about Capital Combat and how she was offended by the blood. And I personally welcome the sight of blood back to the NWA. I don't know if how long they'll let Ole do that, but you know, I liked it. I mean, I'm not sadist or anything, but it's something we haven't seen in a while. Hold on, I think the tape's about ready to run out. Let me check this. Okay, got about...
This is a message for Jeff Osborne from the Jersey Devil. Issue number 33, pal, you iced me. There's going to be hell to pay. Where was my tape? to keep your job, pal, you're going to have to get in line. My number, 201-729-1149. I'm calling 11:30 East Coast time on Saturday. Watch out.
For it. Because I want to invest my money. And, try to make something of myself. And 4 or 5 years down the line, if I've already made a couple profits off baseball cards, and that's what's keeping me alive right now, believe it or not. And so if you see any score, 1990s, if you can get them for under 60, or let's just say if you can get them under 70 cents a pack, give me about 10 packs, and let me know, and I'll reimburse you for postage and the price and everything and all your time. But like I said, if you're don't make a special trip, because I've got a couple boxes here I haven't opened yet, but I don't want to open them because they do increase in value each year, and I want to sell them by the packs. But I'd also like to get some packs to open, and just if you're out and about, just check them out. Like I said, if they're under 70 cents, because anything over that, it's just not worth it. Also, the Don Mattingly's and the Andy Bennis, they're both from Evansville, and they're pretty big around here. And so if you can get some cards of them pretty cheap, say like $1 or under, make sure you pack them in. If you can find single cards, pack them pretty tight so the corners don't get bent. And I'll pay you for those and possibly some of the profit off of it. And, I don't care. Just, my cousin's supposedly going to be the next big star to come out of Evansville. They won the city championship here last week. And his batting average for the entire year was 553, and which was I think first in the state. And he had a single, 2 doubles, and a triple the other night. He's batting 4 for 5, and drove in the 2 winning runs. So I think he's going to get MVP, and he's going to get the batting title this year. And he's only a sophomore, so I think I'm pretty proud of him. He's doing pretty good. But, anyway, let's talk about wrestling here. If you want to send a personal tape to Billy Travis, kind of correspond with him, I'm sure, he wouldn't mind. Since I'm not going to be working this week. He says we're only going to be laid off for a week, but after this crap he's been pulling with these bouncing checks and everything, and I don't know, but I'm going to go down to wrestling this week, and I want to try to get a straight interview out of Billy, see what he thinks. Please let me know if you want the observers back. I know I keep them a lot, but sometimes I let the wrestlers check them out and I never see them again. So if you want your copies back, please let me know, and I'll send them back. But I'm going to let Billy see the one you sent me, to sort of get his views on everything. And of course I'll probably never see it again, but I'll try to get it back for you. So got a sore on my tongue here, so I'm trying to mess with that. So let me know if you want those observers back. Also, I think Evan's going to be starting the feud with you pretty soon. And on the next tape, he'll be running that free sample thing. So if you will, please, send him self-addressed stamped envelope and say, yes, I like a free sample, and say you heard it on CWN. Because I know it's I've gotten about 4 or 5 subscribers off of Evan's Bulletin. Chris Cruz, he gets everything. I think I got him off Evan's Bulletin, but Chris is an avid sheet subscriber, and I'll probably be talking to him within the next couple of weeks, sort of get the scoop on him. And I think I gave my phone number on this issue 32. If you ever need to leave a message or talk to me or anything, it's area code 812-867-7962. So, just if you ever need to drop me a line or anything. See, this weekend I got a big camping trip planned. Me and my girlfriend, my whole entire family are going down to Kentucky Lake. We're going to do some water skiing and stuff. And, it's... You'd have to see me. My girlfriend braids my hair into about 40 different braids, and while I go skiing. And, I'm not much of a skier. In fact, it's pretty funny watching me trying to ski, but anyway, we're going to have a big weekend down there. I like spending time with my girlfriend, and she's one of my best friends, and she does help me out with CWN a lot. Like right now, well, she's in bed now. She just got accepted to IU. I may have told you that before, but pretty proud of her for that, although I don't want her to leave, you know how it goes. But, she's been copying tapes for me all day, and she's got about 20 more to go. So, I'm going to have to hire some more people to do this than just 2 people, because this is just getting too big. And not that I don't mind, but it's just, I got to pay these people. I'm using the CDs sort of to pay them, she's getting that Bang Tango, I guess. Something Cafe. Oh yes, this was on the other tape. These are 2 more CDs that they wanted. She wants Bang Tango. I don't know what label they're on. Psycho Cafe, something like that. Heck, I don't know. And let's see. Her brother wants Stairway to Heaven, Highway to Hell, that compilation LP that had like 10 or 12 different artists on there. So those are the 2 that they wanted. That's just my way of paying them. And I pay her brother with baseball cards too, so, it's just something, I'm going to try to get my girlfriend a little garter snake. She's been wanting a little garter snake. And I'm really getting into these little snakes here. They're really nice and calm, and just as long as you don't swing them around, mistreat them, they'll be good. And I hate feeding those cute little rats to those snakes. It just doesn't. I couldn't do that. I'm gonna start breeding rats myself. The little albino pink-eyed rats they're nice. They're nice animals if they don't take a dump on you or anything. But I really enjoyed the snakes and everything. I'm not an evil person. I don't consider snakes to be evil, as most people do, but I don't want to spend all the time talking about snakes, but this is a wrestling tape or a personal tape, I guess. But glad to see that you have hobbies, and I have hobbies too, and this CWN has taken away from most of my hobbies, believe it or not. But, I had a tryout with a major local band this weekend, but I'll be out of town. So they're really, I'm not bragging, but they're really wanting me bad. I mean, this is pretty interesting. They're sort of a Queensryche style band. They said they've been doing Queensryche stuff before Queensryche was ever around. I don't know about that, but this band's been together since '84. They're wanting me to play bass and sing harmony, background vocals, whatever. But, they're really serious, and they have a lot of equipment. They're all set. And, I don't know, their attitude's kind of cocky. I'm not one to be cocky. I don't know. I just, You know how most of them are, they have big heads. But I'm going to be sending you a demo pretty soon of a band called Chet and the Molesters. I mean, don't take the name seriously. They're all good friends of mine, and they've been on the road, and they are the best band that I've ever heard in my entire life, bar none. So I'm going to be sending you a tape of them. They're sort of commercial heavy metal, I guess you'd put it. I don't like using the term heavy metal because I just don't like what's tied into that, the drugs and the tattoos and tight pants and hairspray, you know. That's heavy metal. And I don't know, I just don't fit in with that kind of stuff. I'm a musician, not a rock star. So anyway, that's a little bit of what's going on now. Hopefully I'll try out with this band and they'll like me. And they're all original material. You know, I've been doing cover stuff like Doc and Poison, even though I hate their guts. Shoot, what else do we do? A lot of Guns N' Roses, Bullet Boys, Kiss, you know, mainstream stuff. Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, stuff like that. You know, I don't know. I got so many things going right now, but my main concern is Cassette Wrestling News, even though I'm not, like I said, I'm not making anything off of it. I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy listening to your tapes and listening to Vinny's and Brian Trammell's and everybody else's. But something Vinny said that really got me today was it says he puts me over the Observer now as his favorite bulletin. I mean, I never expected to hear that. And you know, I don't want to handle that responsibility right now. I mean, we've got insiders working for us, but you know, we haven't got enough. Meltzer's got hundreds of people working for him, where we only have like 10 or 12. And you know, I don't always get the top stories real quick, so we got to rely on other people, and I don't get them as quick. And it also takes longer to copy a tape than it does to run off a carbon or not a Xerox copy. So Dave's got that advantage over us. So actually, we do get the news about the same time as Dave, or a couple days after, but it takes time to run off these copies of tapes rather than paper. So you know how it is. But putting CWN over the Observer, I just never thought I'd hear that. But you know, it really helps out. And let me see how much tape I got left. Hold on. Not much tape at all. So you know, I don't want that responsibility. Like I've said, I'm rambling on and on, but you know, I take time out to talk to the people, and Meltzer doesn't have that time because he has over 3,000 subscribers, and he's the only man in the business that's making money because he's bringing in over 3,000 a week profit. So that's how he affords everything, in case you were wondering. So I'm going to cut this short now. I got to say a lot of other things, but I can't remember, so hopefully I'll be hearing from you soon, and enjoy the show. Be waiting to hear from you again, and take care. Take care of the baby, too. See you later, Joe.
Don't miss Memphis Wrestling Live this weekend, and it all starts August 6th and 7th. Join Dustin Starr, King Cobra, and Memphis Wrestling along with B&B Collection for the only Comic-Con in Northeast Arkansas at the Paragould Community Center. Get your weekend pass in advance. August 21st is our next live TV taping, and you will not want to miss it. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com.
American Hostile Championship Wrestling in Caruthersville, Missouri. Reynolds Park for the Barbecue Fest, August the 5th, 7th. Tomorrow. Rumble on the River 3. $2 gets you in at the Barbecue Fest and American Hostile Championship Wrestling. Appearing that night, Mid-America Champion Astonishing Austin, Rude, Addison Kane, Zay Washington, Denzel Rollins, Terry Wayne, Mark Southern Jr. The American Hostile Championship Wrestling Tag Team titles on the line as the LA Hustlers go against the Moonshiners in the big main event of the night. American Hostile Championship Wrestling title is on the line. Jack Parker Jr. against Aaron Roberts with Justin Case. Card subject to change. Follow American Hostile Championship Wrestling on Facebook by searching American Hostile Championship Wrestling. This episode is also brought to you by SpunkLube.com. Remember, when you're getting funky like a monkey, if you know what I mean, use Spunky. That's right. Go to www.spunklube.com and tell them STS Pod sent you. You want the best, you got the best. The best little wrestling podcast in the business. All episodes on www.stspod.club. Did you enjoy that episode? Cash App us at $BTSTS. If you've never downloaded the Cash App, download it today. You'll get a free, that's right, a free $5 for using the code $BTSTS. That's $BTSTS. Hey, that was another great episode of Shooting the Shiznit. Thank you for listening, and thank you to all our sponsors. A big shout out to Bob McGee at Pro Wrestling's Between the Sheets. Remember, you can reach us on Twitter at Comic Book Mark BT, Instagram at BT Shooting the Shizit. That's right, Shooting the Shizit without a G. Facebook Shooting the Shiznit, and Facebook Cool Kids Wrestling and MMA Talk. If we don't like you in that group, first you have to ask to get in. If we don't like you, we'll kick you out. All the episodes are at one place, and that's www.stspod.club. Podcast Roll Call. Who's Right Podcast. Homeboys Podcast. E3 Radio, my buddies Richard and Josh. My World with Conrad Thompson and my friend Jeff Darren. Lance's favorite include Nickology, Rock Solid, Playlist Wars, I'm Bad Podcast. Hey guys, remember, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.